around the corner from the World TB Day. We know that the last couple of weeks we've been bringing in the TB ambassadors to really share with us, their journey through their difficult times and how they managed to survive. And we had good encouragements and good lessons that we've learned from our colleagues that are actually advocating for people to make sure that we end TB together with HIV in 2030. So it's quite exciting. It's quite exciting that we are going to be focusing in Gauteng, and I'm sure we will be able to get great stuff from Gauteng and good lessons. I hope everyone can see me. So as I indicated, our main purpose today is to be able to look into the Gauteng province and see what is happening in Gauteng, focusing in terms of we know that recently they hosted the 1.1 million campaign, which is looking at reaching 1.1 million people with HIV services by the end of December 2025, as well as TB as well in the fold. So the Gauteng was a great host for that event, and we would like to Gauteng to share with us in terms of their experiences of hosting these events and what it meant for Gauteng, and then look also into the TB recovery plan, what they're doing about it, and then we will also look into the preparations for the World TB Day, when it's happening, where it's happening, so that we are also, we join as much as possible, either physically, those that can be there, and also be able to follow the live streams. I'm sure they will have that or online, so that we also can be part of this big event. So in the house today, we've got our chairperson of Gauteng Civil Society Forum, who is also the co-chairperson of the Gauteng AIDS Council. Ms. Gladys Tshabalala, I'm sure a lot of you know who Gladys is. She comes from the human rights sector, and she's been a great advocate for human rights issues, totally against the human rights violations, very vocal about that aspect, totally against inequalities, particularly for women, and also very passionate about ensuring that we create opportunities for young people, particularly young, to be able to actually lead us, to be able to get empowered to be at the forefront of ensuring that our country thrive, our communities get the services that they deserve. So welcome, ladies. I'm not going to talk too much about you. I'm sure you will be able to tell us about yourself. Gladys Tshabalala, are you okay? I can see you now. Welcome to today's session. I'm sure everybody is abatedly waiting to see you and hear from you since you took over as the chairperson of Gauteng Civil Society, but also as the co-chairperson of the Gauteng AIDS Council. Gladys, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Memokadi.
Okay, great. How are you doing? I know you have been on a fast forward since last year, June. How has it been going in these last more than 6 months of being the chairperson of Gauteng Civil Society and getting the responsibility of ensuring that our people in Gauteng get the services that they deserve, and also being able to lead 18 sectors in the province?
Thank you so much, Memo Hadi, and I'd like to greet you, and I'll also like to greet, the audience, our listeners. I really, really do appreciate their time, them taking time to be part of this conversation. But it has been a minute. It feels like yesterday, on the 18th of March, we were busy last year. We were busy with the civil society election, and something that I had never thought. It's something that it was a decision that was taken at 2 a.m. From a little
my
group.
goodness.
I'm telling you, at the Lakes Hotel. In one room, we were all filled up in there. And a decision was taken there, and it has been, a marathon since then.
Yes.
So basically, on the 18th of March, we will be 1 year old. The new
Wow.
society leadership in the NSP 2023-2028. And I made people laugh yesterday. MMC of Health in the Western yesterday was actually laughing at me when I said that, look, we've got a different NSP now this year. We've got Agenda 2030, and our NSP is ending 2028. So we actually are not 5 years in this office. We're basically 7 years. So ours is something very, very different, very unique.
Yes.
It has really been, I won't lie, it has been a bumpy road. Those close to me in my family can attest to say that it has also taken time from my livelihood. It has taken time from my life. I'm a young mother. My daughter had to also adapt to these, as well. And but I don't think that I regret anything. If I can tell you that whenever I feel down, I just remind myself of, the faces of those women, that has a lot of hope in terms of to say, finally, we've got a young woman in the civil society, we've got a young chairperson, we've got a voice.
Yes.
Finally happening.
That's great. You can see how much time flies, eh? I'm talking 6 months, and actually it's been a year. For me, it feels like it was just yesterday as well. But the reason that I wanted you to come today was to really tell us about what's happening in Gauteng, particularly because we are in the month, the TB month, and we're going towards the World TB Day. And I know that you had a great 1.1 million launch in, I think it was in Bara. I joined online. I saw how fantastic it was organized, and also how it just flowed, and people, were just talking about TB and the commitments that were made there. It was actually quite touching. I mean, you even got the UNAIDS really committing quite strongly and applauding the work that has been done in the country, but also by other partners that have been able to support us. You got the commitment of the main sector to be able to say that we need 650,000 men, to be reached out of this 1.1 million. Which is really a very big take. I know it's a national target, but it's a big one. And I think firstly, if you could just immediately tell us what your experience was in that launch, and what does it mean for Gauteng province going forward?
Thank you so much for that question. Yes, it was, as Gauteng, we are always honored when, we are acknowledged and noticed by our political principles. Because as we know that this is a three-leg pot that really needs, the civil society to join hands with the government, to join hands as well with the private sector. But the 1.1 million, art launch, it was one of the milestones of Gauteng, in a sense that in that launch, we managed to also launch the Betterment for Tomorrow, which is looking at closing the gap to retain 660,000 men that are HIV positive and are not on ARV treatment. And in Gauteng, which is one of the leading provinces in terms of this, we've got 326,000 men that are HIV positive and are not adhering to care. And you know what the 1.1 million ad campaign did was also to say that we are acknowledging that the work has been done already in Gauteng. Like in Gauteng, we have already launched, and we are also implementing the U equals to U program, which is undetectable equals to untransmittable. The more you take or perhaps being, you know, sustaining the intake of your HIV treatment, suppress your viral load, and then
you're not transmitting anything.
Yes, absolutely. And also the 1.1 campaign acknowledged that we also have Zikhala Kanjani Without a Condom program, which
the
is
young ones.
Which is something very exciting. And also acknowledging that we will be also launching the Global Alliance program that is you know, led by the second lady of the country, Mem Masha, to end AIDS in children by 2030. And also, that's something very exciting. And also just making sure. So we were actually supposed to, you know, pack up the 1.1 million campaign with the STI launch. So, but then as Gauteng, we will also be launching the STI campaign, because as we know that we have a high you know, a high increase in terms of the young people in universities. I had a meeting this week with the Directorate of the Wellness at TUT and UJ as well, in terms of the issues that they're facing and the support that they need from the civil society and the province in terms of the STI issues. So the 1.1 million campaign arrived at the right time, so that then we can more intensify and integrate on these interventions.
And start integrating things together. Fantastic. And how is Higher Health involved in this STI campaign? As the people that are working with youth in tertiary institutions and TVET colleges?
Thank you so much for that. So basically now, in terms of, you know, pulling the other AIDS Council stakeholder of which they're basically part of the 18 sectors in the civil society, we have also just started, you know, inviting more sectors that are supposed to be supporting, because as we know that people that are at high risk, or perhaps in terms of this 1.1, we're talking about the young people, we're talking about the children, we're talking about the men. So these three groups, they are critical. And something that I'm very excited about is that the Premier will be part of the Betterment for Tomorrow provincial launch. Yes, that will be launching in TUT in Tshwane on the 18th of March. So when I did have a conversation with the Premier, he was very much excited. And as the main sector extended the invitation to say we would really like the Premier to be the face of the Betterment for Tomorrow. So we're very much excited that the civil society and as Gauteng AIDS Council.
Fantastic. It's really great what's happening in Gauteng. Amazing stuff happening. And I'm also glad that actually the children are included. You know, I come from early childhood development background. And every time we talk children, I think we really need to do much more there. So I'm glad that the Global Alliance, you know, in ending AIDS in children by 2030 is picking up momentum in the provinces, and particularly in the Gauteng province. A big up to Gauteng for all this work that's been that is taking place. We really are proud of what is happening. I mean, even with other provinces as well, there's a lot that is going on. Now I'm going to ask this question. How do you link up with the other chairpersons in the other provinces to make sure that you support each other? I mean, you all have mammoth tasks, and there's more women in the the provinces as chairpersons than me as we are speaking. How do you make sure that you support each other, but also you make sure that MENA also, those chairpersons, I think Free State is one of them, that they also come into the fold. And I know Limpopo, Dr. Munyela is also one of the chairpersons. How do you bring them in and support them? Because especially when we're talking about men taking services, we know that they've got a bigger challenge as men in order to convince other men to really come into the fold. But also even with our sisters in provinces as chairpersons, how do you get together and make sure that you strengthen each other in this journey that is not so easy?
Thank you so much for that question. And one thing that I am very strong at is communication.
Yes.
I think even the leaders that I'm leading with in Gauteng, they'll tell you that I'm a sucker for communication. People that are close to me, people that I love, they know that I'll communicate with you until you respond to me. But one thing that we have done, which is something good, is that we have weekly meetings, and the U.S. executive order has really brought us very close together, whereas the chairpersons in different provinces and co-chairs chairing with the premiers, we have made sure that we talk about the challenges and the issues and the burnouts that we are facing. And we have also advised each other that let's intensify and also let's work more on the AIDS Council stakeholder, which is inclusive of your DSD, Department of Education, Sports, Department of Health, so forth, in making sure that we work with them for those contingency plans that are speaking to the impact of this executive order. And it has brought us very close together. And as you know, that in terms of Gauteng, every year, like just this year, we have received just over 1.1 million new people. I won't say migrants. I'll just say new people, because it's not only from other countries, it's also in South Africa, like other provinces, where in Gauteng, we are always the first contact of everything. So what we have done is that, our issues and also best practices, as you know, we're very radical. And one thing in terms about my leadership is that it's always solution driven, and I do not like to sit long with a problem, so I always push for a solution and intervention. And have shared best practices, like all provinces now. I know that they have all launched the men's parliament, both at province and district level. I know that Eastern Cape, there was issues with the U equals to U campaign, and Comrade Melika, they have pushed there. In terms of the health workers, we're making sure that, in terms of our individual problems that we are facing, we do come and share them and the best practices and benchmarking. So, and also with the Lekgotla coming next week, we will be having the entire week together at the Empire's Palace.
Oh, that's great.
We're looking forward to being in one room together as the civil society chairpersons, and making sure that we really share the best practices. Gauteng, just yesterday, we have launched the TB launch, which was also supported by political partners, the MMCs, the chief directors, they were there. So the mining private sector, they were there as well. So it was really collaborative affair, and in also making sure that we push just today and tomorrow, the labor sector hosting a workers event where there'll be and also check-in pillow services that will be offered there at the lakes in Benoni. So the lakes is like quite popular. I think that they should give me royalty. I think I've mentioned them just now. They're after us.
Maybe it's because they do host a lot of your events, and yeah, the relationship it should be solid enough to be able to say that even in these difficult times, as you indicated, the US has put the rug under our feet, but we can't stand in a corner and cry. We need to look internally in terms of how we can try and put a buffer. And there was one thing that you also said that is great for me, where you said that you have weekly meetings where you share experiences, where you share challenges, and you learn from each other. I think that's a really great thing, to do. That's the way to go. And sometimes I sit by myself and I think, oh, I wish we still have those, family meetings that would be addressing now the challenge that we are, what we are facing at the moment, particularly when it comes to NGOs, the resource mobilization for NGOs, for civil society, and particularly for community-based organizations, because we know those guys do work, whether they do have funding or not. They cannot afford to not do the work that needs to be done on the ground. They are the implementers, therefore they have to be there, at all times. So I just wish that there could be, that kind of thing in each province where there is a family meeting for Gauteng, where we're talking about the issues of Gauteng. How are we closing the gaps in terms of this? And even if we are struggling, if we get together, it becomes, it feels much better to be able to offload and see what we can do. But I think it's great that you're all getting together and you are really making sure that you are supporting each other, because it's needed. The work that you guys are doing, I don't know how you're coping, but but it's great work. It's not an easy thing to do, being able to balance the home environment, the civil society environment, but also the your own income also sometimes get jeopardized in the process, because you are all over the place. 18 sectors is not a small thing. And dealing with diversity of people. I mean, you just talked also again about more than 1 million people that have joined the population of Gauteng, which means that they need to be accommodated, they need to be catered for. Therefore, budgets that were made when they were not there now have to be stretched to be able to cover, everybody. But great work indeed. And now I think what I would like to ask you is the World TB Day in Gauteng. What's happening?
Thank you so much for that. But so that I think the good work, the leadership strategy, the strength. I always tell the team that I don't know where I get the strength. I think prayer, being supported both from home, from my loved ones, partner, child, and everyone. That has also kept me going. But I do have a great team. Yes. I'm surrounded by people that support me in the civil society, not only at the province, but also at district level. And I co-chair with the most supportive co-chairs as well. Yes. But in terms of the World TB Day, it is something very exciting. So the World TB Day will be on the 27th of March.
27th, okay.
Yes, it will be on the 27th of March. It will be in Harmony Mine, which they call Mponing. I heard yesterday that, no, we don't know Harmony Mine. Yes, it's owned by Harmony Mine. but as the locals, we call it Mponeng. So it's Mponeng mine. It's just next to Gogosi. And in terms of the preparations, the social mobilization has already started. It is led by one of own PRC co-chair, Comrade Kuno, and also the civil society team supporting him there, and also with the chairperson of the West Rand, Comrade Yankees, who is supporting the work. But we are not only working alone, we also supported by a great team from the office of the Chief Director, Mokhetle, from the House and the province, and also at the level. We also supported by the DSD and other AIDS Council stakeholders. So look, we are even when I was talking to the MEC yesterday, she was just checking. I'm like, MEC, we here, you know, we are doing well. We are very much led. And please do come join us. There will be 22 buses that will be collecting, you know, commuters around the West Rand. And also there will be other transportation that the AIDS Council from different metros and different in Sedibeng district that will be, you know, collecting commuters that will really like to be part of the World TB Day. And something that's very exciting that we have managed in terms of our intervention and communication, but this one is not open to the public. It will be a very high level event. We will be having a TB mining in Daba, which will be hosted by Harmony Mine. And this one will be attended by high-level business people and politicians, you know, decision makers in making sure that we really, really close the gap. And yeah, something very exciting.
Oh, fantastic. It sounds very exciting. It really sounds exciting. And you talked about the social mobilization teams already out there mobilizing, but I take it also in preparation or already started with the build-up activities. And I know that in Gauteng, your sectors are fortunate that they get funding to be able to do some projects, but within those projects also to be able to, the social mobilizations, the policy in actions, the awareness campaigns would be part of what, they do. And also in terms of coordination of their sectors to make sure that they do justice to the services in the province. Can you talk to us about that a little bit? I know that it's not all the sectors that are already at that level of getting the resources, but at least there's 10 or more that are getting resources from Gauteng to be able to do work in Gauteng. It might not be as much as we would like to see it happening, but this is just the beginning. And as you're speaking, I'm hoping that the private sector would really come in and close the gap that is there. So what is happening there with various sectors in terms of preparing for the World TB Day?
Thank you so much for that question. Yes, absolutely. So we've got 18 sectors all in all, or we should have 18 sectors rather.
Yeah.
And we've 16 sectors that are active that do have leadership in Gauteng. Out of the 16, only 10 sectors managed to qualify or perhaps get funding. And out of those 10, we actually have very, very energetic, very tactical, responsive leaders. And I am very much happy because when we were talking with the minister, he was busy pressing the fact that men are not found in the clinics, men are not found in the churches. You find men in taverns, in clubs, in brothels. You find men as well as in Tumbeni, as the traditional health practitioners were saying. These are our people. So the traditional health practitioner sector as well is one of the sectors, Izangoma, that are also part of the 10 that is funded. And the team is doing very, very well under this unfavorable conditions of, you know, trying to close the gap, as we know that we do have organizations that have closed down. Those organizations were organizations that were assisting us, as we know that the civil society, which I'm proud to be part of, you know, we pushed and we then said, advocated and said, Deputy President, sign the MMD, so that then people living with HIV can now get 6 months treatment. They don't have to be doing up and off at the facilities. And after we have fought for that, the next week our premier, you know, signed and said that Gauteng is
great, well done.
MEC supporting that. So we're doing fairly well in terms of, you know, mapping that out. It is tough, I wouldn't lie, but we are working very closely, the 10 sectors and other sectors that are not funded, working very closely with the support from also DOH. And, you know, the key populations that, you know, I don't sleep because of, I'm worried about these two key populations, is the LGBTQ plus population. As we know that we were starting to come right in terms of, you know, them having their own facilities that you know, look after their needs and everything. And now like gone back to ground zero. And also in terms of the sex workers, we know that every Wednesday we had your ORAM, your vets, RHI, you know, going to their sites, to their spots, you know, offering those services. So I've got sex workers that in some areas now, they are quite stranded, but I'm happy.
Tricky.
So working with the sex work sector and the Department of Health, we have managed to say that, can please the Department of Health at least reroute some of these Kiredi mobile clinics to go to the sites for the sex workers, so that we can close the gap, because we like it or we don't. I know that they are not decriminalized, but sex workers are the first point of HIV as well. So if we don't make sure that they get their ARVs on time, we don't make sure that they get their PrEP and PEP, their lubricants and all the things that they need, we'll find ourselves in serious problems. So but you know, we're gradually trying, we're really trying with this little funding that we have received as the 10 sectors. Thank you so much.
Okay, that's great, because I think you are, I don't know if you are the only province, but one of the very few provinces that actually get formally and consistently, you know, resources from government in that manner. And I've seen great work that is being done by sectors. And I've seen those that also struggled a bit, but I think you really are on a great pathway in terms of achieving your goals. So colleagues, you heard Gladys, the World TB Day in Harmony Minds. Is it Harmony Minds? Oh, it's hosted by Harmony Minds.
Yes, it's hosted by Harmony Mind, and they call the site Mponeng.
Mponeng, I'll look at it. Okay, it's Mponeng. What part of Gauteng is that? I'm trying to figure out where, is it the West Rand?
It's in the West Rand, it's in the Merafong local municipality, just next to, just around Forchville, not far from Forchville.
Okay. I need to go there so that Linda was born. I didn't hear about this place Mponeng before, so I will join the Mponeng people and also say Mponeng Linda. But and colleagues, we just wanted to make sure that people understand and know where you know, Gauteng is in terms of the work of civil society, of course, in partnership with government. In partnership, it looks like private sector is also coming in very strongly. But also, I heard you mention that labor is also, you know, at full force to be able to also contribute to what is happening in the province, which is really great stuff. There is a good story to tell there. And I'm hoping, and Chairperson, I'm really hoping that all this information will get or is getting documented, because I don't want to go into a conference, the AIDS conference, and Gauteng is not visible. And we do know that the AIDS conference is going to be in Gauteng. We have been notified that it's happening in September. They've given us time, and it's happening in Gauteng. And I'm really looking forward to this, because you need to, cover the province rate. You need to color the grade with abstracts, with presentations, with your presence in that conference. You need to be able to take the lead as Gauteng. It's not every day that Gauteng hosts an AIDS conference. Always we go to KwaZulu-Natal, which is okay, but at the moment, it's happening in Gauteng. And I would say that we need to make sure that we prepare well. We do our abstracts. We've been given, extension to be able to do that. And all those lessons that are coming out of the work that we are doing in partnership. And I'm not only talking about civil society, because we can't say, us and them. We are all together in this, both government, both private sector, and both civil society. And I'm hoping that we would really be able to actually take the lead in our own province as we are hosting, and make sure that we showcase what we've been doing. There's been a lot of work that has been happening in Gauteng, as you say. There's been a lot of activities that are happening. There's been a lot of good practices that are out there. We need to bring them out and make sure that they shine, at these conferences. And I'm glad you also indicated that you are actually working with other chairpersons in other provinces, because I know that there will be great work that is coming from there as well. And as we move towards the AIDS conference, if we could really make sure that nothing is left out, we document what we are doing and we share it with the world, because we need to show our leadership. And we also need to show that despite the problems, the challenges that we are facing, we know that the challenges are not going to go away. They will always be there, but we will be stronger than our challenges, and we will be able to move forward. Now, ladies, I don't know if there's a last word that you want to say to our people, and be able to share with them anything else that we might have missed. If you could be able to do that, then I'm giving you about 3 minutes to be able to do that before I open for everybody to actually ask questions and make comments.
Thank you so much for that, Memohadi. I have been talking the entire morning. I'm coming from a facilitation with the young people from schools. They were entire morning rushing to make it for this meeting. But nevertheless, I would really like to appreciate, all the participants, people that have joined and listened to us in this meeting. You are really, really appreciated. And I would like to also say that, push the messages of you equals to you. Undetectable equals to untransmittable. Let's drink our medication. Let's make sure that, I know that there is treatment fatigue. I know very well, even in terms of the TB cannot be killing so many people, Memohadi, when it's curable. It's clear that one way or the other, we are not doing something right. And we really, really need to change that. We need to work together. Where we're not finding each other, I like to always tell the team that we cannot make noise to people that are willing to listen. So where people are willing to listen, where we see errors, let's sit down around the table and solve those issues, and also to our communities, PrEP is there. Let's maximize on the intake of PrEP and, understanding as well. And let's maximize on the intake of PEP. I like to always tell the men that stop diagnosing yourself or checking yourself, testing yourself with your partner. because these women are very smart. They go and they take PEP. When you think that both of you are fine, and when you check yourself, you find that you are in serious matters. So what we're saying is that, and also men, I'm pleading with the men, because prostate cancer is real, mostly for men that are above 40. Let's make sure we have a healthy diet. Let's make sure that we go as men and get, tested, and know our rights, and make sure that we know our health status. Something that the minister, whenever I'm in a meeting with the minister, I know that the men are going to stand one way or the other, because he will make sure that men, please go get checked, go get tested. And we will definitely work hard in advocating to say that those disadvantaged communities, treatment services, health services rather, goes to them. The mobile clinics, they go to the informal settlements. We make sure that we support our communities. With all that being said, really, thank you so much, and for listening to me. I appreciate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Chairperson. Colleagues, I'm going to open for comments, for questions, also for message of support for Gauteng Province in terms of the World TB Day, and also for other provinces in absentia. We're still coming. If we don't get to you before the World TB Day, we will still be coming to you to hear what you have done during World TB Day month. I'm going to open now for comments, questions for those that would like to talk to our chairperson in Gauteng, Gladys Tshabalala. Colleagues? Okay, I've got Peter. Peter, welcome. And the space is yours.
Well, thank you so much, Mekadi. Am I audible?
Yes, you're very audible. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the platform, and also a very important podcast as well when it comes to TB, as we are in the TB, the month of commemoration. I would like to also part my greeting to everybody, especially special greetings to the Gauteng Chairperson. I've seen her. I've been around in the civil society space with her. Whatever that she's saying here, I'm just putting it there to say it is true. However, at the same time, I also have my own interest, to ask one or two questions, especially on the great work that Gauteng is doing. My first question will be basically on the strategies that they have, or strategies that they are using to be able to pass the right messages to men when it comes to treatment, or not only just treatment, to have a healthy seeking behavior towards facilities and across board. So my question is, what type, or do they have a strategy or a way that they're using? Possibly maybe they can share one day, which also I would appreciate even if they can share during the event that they're also planning, so that at least we can also find strategies as well and learn from that as a best practice to utilize when it comes to engaging men, as I'm on the men space. And then secondly, which is my last, I think, it's basically on the against strategies that they are using when it comes to bringing everyone into one room. It's really a battle, and trust me, it's not an easy one. But however, they seem to be like moving, like it's like they're taking a banana and riding on it, making their route easier. So for real, it's really a commendable work that I know she's a very strong woman. And there's a lot as well that I'm learning. Sometimes you think you are doing things for your own, or you are pushing in your own way, but there are people as well that are learning from you. So I'm one of those that I'm learning from Gauteng, especially the chair. I know when it comes to addressing issues in the HIV, TB, and STI space, she's a very vocal person and she's hands-on. So other provinces, are limping when it comes to the civil society functionality to ensure that it is recognized and the great work is done. So the approaches that they're doing, you look at the TB event that is upcoming, which they've already managed to secure some of the resources, which is your buses to collect the community to get there. It's great work, and I know it was not easy. But then how do they utilize those strategies to ensure that we rope everybody in and we are able to sit and discuss those issues? That will be talking to the health perspective. So it's around that concern, which I would appreciate one day to get those lessons, so that whatever that we'll be doing as well within the civil society space, we bring everyone on board. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for the information shared. It really built a lot, and we are gaining knowledge and experience, and also how can we benchmark from others so that we better ourselves. Thank you so much, Mekhade, and thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you very much. Chairperson of Gauteng, you heard that at the moment you are, well, if they look at what Gauteng is doing and how much has been done, the machine is oiled. The fact that he's saying that you are on a banana peel now, you're just sliding. It means that the machinery has been well oiled. Congratulations to you and your coordinating committee. Looks like things are really moving quite, impressive work that is being done. The question that Peter has got is, sure, do you have any strategies to share in terms of how you have made sure that most of the partners, if not all the partners, are now into the fold. You're working together. I mean, I don't think there's many that would say that we are working together and even include private sector that significantly, even include labor, that importantly. So what it's saying is that, the machinery is oiled. You did indicate that there has been some places where you were not feeling happy about. If there were no challenges where you sometimes fall flat on your face and get up and dust yourself and move, I would be worried that the day that you fall is going to be a big one. But the fact that you are still moving, and yes, there are places where you sort of like still struggling, and where you feel like, oh my goodness, all this work for nothing. It's not for nothing. It's part of the reality. Like I said, there will always be there, those obstacles. The important thing is how strong we become, how much we go to the gym to make sure that we jump over those hurdles every time we come across one. So yeah, Peter wants to know, the strategies that you are actually using, but also he's talking about the fact that sometimes it's really very difficult to get sectors to, take on the work that needs to be, that needs to be taken. Functionality is one of the challenges that are being looked at. We know that sectors cannot be at the same level in terms of their functionality, but also their strength. But it looks like with your province, it's fairly, well, the fact that you've got 16 that are functional, and already more than 50% are already, there's a confidence in government to be able to say that we will share the resources, the little that we've got with, shows great strength. Now, can you talk to Peter in terms of how you do it? It might not be as clear-cut as it is, because I'm sure there has been a lot of trial and error in the processes, but it would be nice to get your motivation to other places like where Peter comes from, to say that, this is how you start small and grow.
Thank you so much, Memo Hadi, and thank you as well to Peter in terms of that question. The strategies that are there really, we focus on enhancement of collaboration, and also make sure that there is accountability. For everybody that's supposed to do what they're supposed to do, they do it. And we also use policy-driven approaches. We are always evidence-driven. if there's anything that we pride ourselves with as the leadership of Gauteng, is that we make sure that what we communicate is factual, and also drives, equality, and make sure that there is, inclusion in everything. We don't leave anyone behind. But I'm very much interested in maybe just getting which district or metro is Peter from. And in terms of the men, trying to push and bringing men back to care, the men's sector as well, they very led by leaders that are credible as well. So they do have programs that, that we know that these are the best practice programs, like your Coaching Pillow, that talks about, having the camps for the young boys, also having the men's corner, the support groups, going to where these men are, taxi ranks. I remember in December, most of the, leaders were working in taxi ranks. They were working in, exit points where people, they were going home, because we knew that emakasi abantu abasekho. We made sure that we go to the taverns, and it's very tough, because when you get to the taverns, you need to have money. One court, one attention, one man. So it was like that. So we really spoke in the language that our people understand. That's very much critical, and is important. And the men's parliament, has helped us a great deal, and also us understanding the language of ama hostel, because I remember my first dialogue at the hostel as a young girl, and it was a West day. I was wearing pants.
Okay. I can picture the.
I'm sure they were looking at us like, but because of where I come from a very, rich, cultured, family, where you really understand, and kind of have to adapt to the situation and these surroundings that you're in. And I remember I said something to them, and they clapped hands. I didn't think. I said, "Siyasaba uzala." And because Nina, you are a country within a country. You are not country. Nina niyaiphatha. Even when the police have to go Emma hostel, they make appointments. And they were shocked. They didn't. No one had the courage to tell these men in the. Yes, because they were like, no one cares about us. Amaphoyisa azi umuntu uyadutshulwa la ahlala isidumbu sihlale 3 hours without being collected. Health, we don't get health support services in. And I was like, siyasaba.
They didn't realize ukuthi people are scared to go to hostels. Yeah.
Yes, there's a stigma. There's a stigma. And they clapped hands, and they were very happy to say, we happy to have someone who told us in Dabazetu. And I think by me saying that, they forgot what I was wearing pants. So we really tried. But
so that was a diversion for you.
Yes, it was. Yes, but I would really like to just find out in terms of which district is Peter from, if it's from Gauteng, and then I will make sure that one of the chairpersons, or maybe the leaders from at that district or metro level really does get in contact with Peter, and then we make sure that his organization and himself, they do get support.
Yeah, Peter is actually one of the should I say human rights ambassadors? I'm sure you would be able to talk the same language. He's from Mpumalanga in Sibande. There's a middle of nowhere place that is more Swaziland than South Africa, called Elukwatini. Yes. And he comes from there. But I think what we can do also is, if it's acceptable, we could be able to share, contacts with Peter, even with your human rights chairperson in Gauteng, so that there could be that linkages. But I think most importantly, he's asking in terms of, I think he's trying to also coordinate the discussion between, or a kind of a roundtable discussion between government, civil society, and private sector in his district. And he is getting support from the province, I think, but it was just so mind-blowing what we've been talking about, and he's thinking, if I can grab a little bit of that and share with my province, that would be great. But we know that you are all together and you will be able to share. But I think it would be good to share the district, contacts with Peter, so that they talk about things that are more at implementation level in the district. But thank you very much for that. I see that we haven't really, we've got 1 minute left. I'm trying to see if there are any more hands. I can see that we do have the chat. While I'm waiting to see if there's anyone that wants to say something within this 1 minute. I can stretch to 2 minutes. I just want to look at the comments because I think there are some people that did comment. We've got Tabitha Ntuli saying thank you for doing this good work. Gauteng Civil Society Forum. And this is Tabitha from UNAIDS. I would take the mic, but my internet connection is poor. So Tabitha is saying great work, Gauteng, and we know that UNAIDS has been one of our greatest supporters at county level, at provincial level, at district level. You name it, when there's work that needs to be done and the support that is necessary, UNAIDS come in. And Tabitha specifically, not only as UNAIDS, but as one of our comrades in the country, has gone an extra mile. I still have a picture of Tabitha in the Eastern Cape where they had a summit for young girls. And the support that came from her as a person, but also as UNAIDS, was really fantastic, was really great. I think we learned a lot in terms of giving your all from Tabitha all these years. And then we've got Tumi Muswane, and Tumi is saying thank you for doing this good work, Gauteng Civil Society Forum. And this is Tumi from Ketchup, South Africa. Thank you, Tumi. Gauteng, you can see that people are really seeing the great work that you are doing. And Peter, we've already spoken to Peter. He's saying that as the provincial deputy chair to Mpumalanga main sector, and his organization is he's the founder of Intika Ubuntu organization, and it's an NPO, and also Khanyisa Mahlalentabeni home-based care center. He's the managing director of Khanyisa Mahlalentabeni home-based care, and he has shared his contact details and his email in the chat box. And then we've got Caroline Tema. Thank you so much. And we are so inspired. And this is Caroline Tema from Limpopo, from the foundation in Limpopo, Polokwane. And she also left her email address if you check there. And Zeleding Party says Viva CSF Gauteng, Viva, and I say here, Viva CSF Gauteng. And if there are no more comments or questions, then I will say, ladies, thank you so much for honoring our invite and coming in. And we're doing this with the support from the research sector, the national research sector, as well as the provincial research sector, because as you know, we are all about documenting the good practices. We are all about really bringing the good work that is happening to the people, so that they like you are saying, communication is very important, and this is our way of communicating as well. I'm sure a lot of people now are aware of the great work that Gauteng is doing. Some of them have known already, it just confirmed it, but there are also those that might not have been aware of what Gauteng is doing. And big up to your province, and big up to your partnerships. And I'm sure we'll be seeing a whole lot of more lessons that are coming out. But me particularly personally, I'm looking forward to seeing you at the AIDS conference, being able to take the lead as the host province. And I'm saying good luck also with the Lekgotla next week. And I know that there will be good stuff and concrete way forward and decisions, and also confirmation of what has been done in that Lekgotla. There will be great endorsement of the work that is being done, but also great guidance in terms of how we follow the line of march in terms of our responsibilities as civil society. I've looked and I haven't seen any hand, so I will just say, colleagues, thank you very much. Ladies, thank you. And please don't forget to thank your family for being able to make sure that when we need you, you are there for us, and you still march on. Sometimes we forget the significant role that family plays in the work that we are doing. And we appreciate the fact that they allow you to do that. But not necessarily saying that they would say no. But we know that sometimes you take their time and use it on us as well. And they understand. And they understand your passion, and they understand your capabilities, but also they understand your need for support from your own family and from your own friends, and particularly from your family. We're saying we really thank you very much for being able to allow Gladys to lead us in the province and to be able to do the great work that we are doing. Colleagues, thank you very much for joining us in this discussion. And thank you so much also for the great work that is done in Gauteng, but also for the confirmation that we've received from the chats as well. Till next time, Mohadi Malakela again. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thank you.